We did the stuff last week. We did the skills for the enemies, but this week we've kind of been putting those skills into the well, we've been testing on the battle system and adding all the special effects and animations and everything to make it just look more awesome, because nothing's more boring than a battle system without that. I don't know any game that has that sort of battle system. And so it's the last stream of the week for doing that, and then we'll move on to something else, which we'll go back to doing the player character skills and actually getting the skill tree set up this time. I think that's something important that needs doing. But I will be finishing whatever we don't finish today tomorrow and over the weekend, and hopefully we'll have an awesome looking set of Everbloom Forest enemies. Fantasia! Wants to hear the sounds Rose made in this stream. Did you watch the video, Fantasia? Did you? It was quite amusing, to say the least. Okay, everybody. So, RPG Maker's up. Okay, so let's switch screen. Don't need you for the moment, Discord. You can hide away. Oh, I've just noticed Windows has a new update. What a surprise. It's probably going to ruin my computer, isn't it? Reset everything like you did last time, Windows update. Why is there another one already? The last time I did the Windows update, honestly, it took like all day to update. I never did anything that day except stare at my screen and wait. Well, Windows update stream people, I know. I didn't expect it to take so long. If I knew it would have took so long, I'd have done it overnight while I was sleeping. But I don't like leaving my computer on at night because I'm not really a light sleeper, but I just can't sleep very well if there's a humming noise going on. So, but I'm gonna have to, because I'd rather do that than have to be forced to not use my computer all day. But yeah, so has anybody downloaded that, well, installed that Windows update yet? Oh my god, my arms got really itchy. I feel all funny. I'm getting poorly. I'm kind of glad that I've got the next 3 days off, which isn't very often I say that, because I usually I've kind of been obsessed with streaming and I want to do it every day, but I think I've done the right thing by not overdoing myself, because otherwise it's very easy to get run down, and I'm already feeling like a bit ill. And what's wrong with my water bottle? Something gross in it. I'm not drinking that anymore. Grossy. Needs to be cleaned. Hi Neffel, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Okay. Okay, right, so what did we do yesterday? Let's remind ourselves. Well, we know that we heard some noises from this little flower here. Let's open the gate. Well, we decided what sound effects we should have for some of the flowers' skills. We still have to do pollen puke. I'm going to leave that for now though. There's still quite a bit to do, but what we'll do today is discuss probably some of the more creative skills, because they're going to be the hardest ones. The easy ones I'm fine to do anyway, but there's things like, oh, should we change this to Father Maple rather than Tree? There we go. So we haven't even talked about Father Maple yet. We could look for some sound effects for him today. Thunderous Bark will be an interesting one. Bramble Roots, I'm thinking of renaming it. I'm struggling to find a roots animation. We did get a leaf kind of growing, a plant growing out the ground for Leave Me Alone, for the toxic plant, but there's nothing really appropriate for the root thing. So we might have to go for another kind of earth special, because I suppose trees, earth elemental, AoE, links, we gotta just think of something appropriate, I guess. We have a number of earth animations, so I guess you're just thinking what will be most appropriate for our good old tree. Not electric. So we got some earth ones here. Have we got any more? Ooh, there's Leaf Gust. I don't think we'll be making use of that one, that skill animation, but it's nice that it's there. Hiya Marion, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Sound effects. Hi Robson. Cute sound effects are the best. We've got one. Right, should we just pause our background music for a bit so we can listen? Where is it? Okay, so this is what I did. We decided on the sound effect yesterday. I have put in like a healing sound as well, because it felt a bit odd on its own. Like there was no context to him doing his little cute sigh. But with this healing sound, it kind of fits better. So, feed Stumpy. Oh no, Stumpy's hiding today. He's asleep. Maybe he'll make a return one day. Should we play it? Play. I'll press the wrong thing. Okay, I'm going to have to turn it up because I don't even think you can hear that. Should we turn it up full blast? I can't even hear it. I need to put it louder on my end. Sorry guys, I'm messing it up. There we go. Obviously, the flower will be there. Let's put him there so we've got some, so we can actually see. I think he suits it. It sounds so much like the turtle noise though. It isn't, but it does sound like it. We can change the healing noise. That's totally good, fine to do. I didn't know the best one. We don't even have to pick one that's already in. I'm using a standard absorb sound effect for it, which is that one you just heard. But we can pick a different, more aromatherapy sound in here that goes with it. That would be good. I don't even know what aromatherapy sounds like though. Any ideas? Okay, so we've got petal slice as well I was working on. So that's literally, it just shows. I added a sort of wind sound. I don't know if that'll be the final wind sound, but it's there as a sort of placeholder for now. It sounded kind of empty without it. And I kind of thought if the petals are like floating around, we need a sort of subtle breeze going with that. Back with volume. Welcome back, Elite. We're just having a little peek at our skills. So we worked on petal slice. And aromatherapy, but we might change the healing noise that we're using, but I need some kind of ideas for what kind of healing noise would fit with aromatherapy. It's so bonkers, I love it. Yeah, okay. Also, Elite, look. I've decided I'm going to reread the whole series. I've only got the first 4 books, but I'm going to reread them up to book 4, and then I'll get the next one. Okay, so Pollen Puke is next, but we need a puke animation. And it's a difficult one, Pollen Puke, is because I like the flower standing on the spot rather than having to move to the character. I think it fits more that he's rooted to the spot, so he'd have to do Pollen Puke from a distance, but I don't know how to pull that off yet. So we'll leave that for now. The B ones will be pretty straightforward, I think, and the D ones shouldn't be too bad either. But Stumpy's kind of there, but there's still a few little bits and bobs, and Father Maple we've not even discussed, so we'll just discuss a few of the enemies today and just talk about some ideas that can be done for their skills and animations. And even if I don't get to implement them today, it'll help a bunch for when I'm sorting them out over the weekend and adding them. Yay, it deserves the read, yay. Yeah, and I struggled. It's such a sad thing that the only reason I haven't bought the other books is because I can't. This is old. This is an old cover. Like it's over 10 years ago when I got this book, so it doesn't exist anymore like that. And I have to get all the books have the same cover art. I have to, but I think they might be on eBay or something like that, so I can get them off there totally fine. Okay, so the question is, shall we? Oh yeah, the mushroom as well. Fungal Fury, I want to change a bit because at the moment it literally is just the same as Mushroom Mash. So I want to have a bit of variation with those too. And the B, what were the B skills again? Let's remind ourselves. Needle Sting. What would a needle sting sound like? So I'm going to write down these skills so it saves me looking all constantly at this tab all the time. I did write them down yesterday, but I lost the notepad file. Check eBay. There's an old library store for cheap books I use. I can give you the link when I remember. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Elite. Yeah, I'd have to buy one that's like been owned. As I'm fine having an owned one as long as it's not manky and that it's still very good condition. Rain bloods, lol. Raindrops, yay. Oh my goodness, you nearly got 1,000, Elite. Any ideas on your character yet? So, Pollen Puke. Write down all the skills we haven't done yet. Needle Sting. Swarm, Ominous Drone, Charge, Disease Bite, Retribution, Stumpy's we've kind of sort of done, so we're still. Sticky Fingers we haven't. Sticky Fingers. Spook. Run away. Thunderous Spark. Okay, so there's quite a few there. I'm going to put an asterisk next to the ones that we haven't done at all. All these are working, by the way, like they're all implemented fine, and when I test battles the skills work really good. I even got Retribution to work. There's a little tiny bug though, which I'll show you in a sec, but the skill does work, and it's only Protective Pancake that kind of is still being worked on, though I've been slowly sorting that out, and it's nearly there, but it isn't. we kind of it's interesting to even think how he can pull some animation for that off. I'd love to have a little go at that today. I definitely want to talk about the more creative of the skills, but I want to kind of briefly discuss all of them if we get time. So that's a lot. That is a lot of skills. So we'll talk about those. Hey Kay, how's it going? Oh my goodness, how are you? How are you, Missy? Thinking you want to be the bad guy, so you can totally be an antagonist. Like I've said many times, I want a lot of antagonists in this game for show. Just have my time traveling port lightning villain. Oh my goodness, so you're going to have a time traveling port lightning villain? That'll be an excuse to introduce a bit of futurism in the game. I will not say no to that. That is interesting. I say do it. Still need to read the story, but I'm thinking something along the lines of pitting the humans and reptiles against each other so we can achieve some grand plan. I really like it. I mean, at the moment, Raindrop Chronicles doesn't have an overarching plot. All we know about it so far, to sum it up, reptiles and humans dislike each other. That's very clear with the fact that we've got two reptile antagonists in Chub Cheeks and Careless Rex. So that's clear. Reptiles are responsible for the massacre that happened in Lakefall, which we haven't talked about for about 50 streams. But once we've defeated the first boss, we will be doing a lot of world building development around Lakefall and the NPCs, because it'll be side quest time and it'll be time to think about that sort of stuff. So we know that too. And we also know that raindrops are the currency of the world as well. That people it's not a solid traditional gold currency system, it's raindrops. So that brings in a lot of potential interesting things, such as deserts poor. And rainy, very areas with a lot of rain are rich, unless the government is fair and distributes it equally. If they are, that is big if. There could be a lot of dodgy things going on with having a weather-based currency. Who knows? Maybe the weather's even controlled, so somebody can get rich on purpose. Who knows? There's just a lot of possibilities with it. Yeah, it's fun. So really those are the only things we know, but I have been considering bringing in an overarching plot, just a very simple way to sum it up. Like if somebody said, so what's Raindrop Chronicles about? I'd love to be able to say what it's about in like 2 sentences or something. Like, for example, Stephen King's Dark Tower, which I'm talking about at the moment because I'm going to be rereading it. You'd sum that up by saying it's a quest for Roland to find the Dark Tower, and nobody knows what the Dark Tower is. It's all very mysterious, but that would be how you sum that book up. And I'd love to be able to sum Raindrop Chronicles in a sentence as well, because I think having an overarching plot will just keep something interest for people with the story. But there will obviously be a lot of side stuff and cool things going on the side too. I'm excited. Sounds really cool. Working from home this afternoon, so I had to come in and say hi. Oh, working from home, that sounds fun, Kay. I hope you're having a nice relaxing day. Thanks for stopping in. The villain is also the bad guy in Banzai Heroes and my stream avatar. Oh my goodness, so he's making a little appearance in Raindrop Chronicles. That's so cool. I say defo. I say that should be a character for sure, elite. Government, you guys in Raindrop. You talked about a secret society who controlled the weather, if I remember correctly, but it was early on. Yeah, it was briefly discussed, and like a lot of things have a question mark around them at the moment concerning the plot, because nothing has been confirmed. It's all speculation, but it's interesting to like consider that being a possible thing, and we a potential villain in the game. Who's responsible for that? Who knows? It's dark and gloomy, right? Oh, what's dark and gloomy? The Dark Tower? It was more of a, we need to turn the power off for 3 hours so everyone go work at home. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. When I used to work in an office, we had a day like that too, and I just remember being really happy. I was like, yay, get to go home. Except we didn't have to work at home, we just got to have a day off. The weather chicken, it all comes together now. Whoever controls the weather chicken controls the world. Well, I'm glad I've let you guys know, because some of you weren't here in the super early Raindrop Chronicles streams and you missed all that discussion. But that's literally all that we know right now. But there will be we will be like doing more world building in the near future, and to keep track of all that, we'll be putting information on the website, because the website will be hopefully up and running by the new year, and that will be the place to find out more about all of the characters will have their bios up on there, and they'll be like, it'll tell you about everything basically. It's going to be a little wiki, sort of. Villains are the best. You think? I guess it depends. I have liked some villain characters, but they have to have some sort of sympathy, otherwise if they're just a meanie poo, I'm gonna just not like them. They have to have something that's sympathetic. The server room at my building nearly caught fire last week. Oh really? Oh my goodness me, okay. But I hope life's been treating you well other than that. I hope stuff's going good for you. Okay, so back to the skill stuff. There's like, how many skills have we got listed here? There's about 15. So I'm going to have to pick one we can focus on. It's very difficult to pick one out of all these. Maybe, so I want to definitely talk about Father Maple, the tree today. He's one. But we haven't talked about the deer or the bees at all yet. I really don't think their skills will be hard to do. But there is a little bug with retribution. Let's do a test play. So I kind of want to just talk about that. And I think I kind of figured out what the bug was, but it seems it hasn't worked. It hasn't fixed it. Okay, just turn it down a touch. I'm gonna keep the music on, but just so it's a lot quieter. Oops, that's loud. And I'll put the sounds up to. Oops. Okay. I wish. Oh, we can go back. I didn't know I was doing all that, but we can actually go back. We'll have the sound up at 100. But we'll just have the background music low for now, so we can hear the sounds. I hope that the sounds aren't going to make your ears bleed or anything. Chat, if it is too loud, just let me know. Really, really well. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're back on Twitch too. I'm just imagining a swarm of IT people running away from a burning warehouse. Oh no. Okay, so we are going to look at our flower, considering we were working on it yesterday. Oopsie, here we go. I forgot to put the test play up. Pollen puke, ignore that, because that's just a default animation that we need to change. But petal slice and the aromatherapy, the ones that I've been doing. So yeah, I'm still unsure about the healing actual noise we've used. Not the cute little but the bit before that. I might want it. I don't know what aromatherapy sounds like. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't sound like anything. But it'll be cool to pick something appropriate. Kung said it sounded like, let me have a look and look back in chat. Radioactive, which isn't aromatherapy, is it? We don't want that. 7 people all run down to a room barely big enough for free, trying to figure out what was smoking. Hey, the flour's too strong. Jesus can't cut through it at all with his axe. I also need to change the for some reason the axe is appearing underneath the enemy, so I need to change that. Okay, so the deers have the counter attack. It's called Retribution, and their eyes glow red when they use the skill. And if you hit them while their eyes are red, they will counter attack you. But for some reason, the first time the skill's used and the eyes go red, it stutters like there's a missing frame. But after that, it's fine. Like the second deer eyes go red, but he doesn't have the missing frame. So I thought that it was I needed a image preloader or something, because the images need to load in first. And I did download a preloader plugin to hopefully fix that, but it hasn't worked, which is very odd because I was sure that it was something to do with that. It made sense. Tough guy flower. Jesus. I wonder if I'll go with Jesus when I do a proper playthrough of this game. Yeah, ignore all the numbers because I haven't balanced the battles at all. That's going to literally be the last thing. The main thing is that we get the other stuff like the sounds and animations done first. I didn't actually look. I've got to run away and look at Retribution again. But it does like have a missing frame for some odd reason. But that's the only bug. Oh, so it worked then. The only reason it worked then, I think, was because it wasn't the first time. It only ever does that stutter on the first time when you load the game, which was why I was certain it was something to do with the images needing to be preloaded. Weird. Weird. Let's have a look again. Yeah. Like, if you stare at it very carefully, you can see that little stutter when his eyes go red the first time he uses that skill. And basically, I did this plugin command to the enemies folder, the side view enemies, and red deer eyes, which is the name of the image. And that's meant to like preload it so that it won't do that stutter, but obviously it hasn't worked. So this is the plugin, and I did try and move it, the position. I put it at the top to see if that changed it, but it didn't. But I haven't messed around. That's something that I need to mess around with, because it's something that could either take 10 minutes to sort out or all day. It's one of those things. So any bugs I'm going to leave for now. And we'll just focus on the fun bits, like the sound effects. I can't think of a sound effect that will go with the red eyes for Retribution. We don't need something for that, but it might be even cooler if we did have a sound effect for that. But it's a funny one. I haven't got anything in mind. Disease bite. We have a few bite animations. So let's have a look at what we've got. We're currently using Vicious Chomp. That's the bite we're using for that. So choose a different kind of bite for disease bite. But what disease bite does is it lowers the defense, I think, or lowers the attack. It's one of them. So where are all our bites? So there's this one. Oh, we gotta set it all up first. Do deers have sharp teeth? I don't think they do they? Do deers have human teeth? I'm gonna have to look at Google Images now for this. Deer teeth. Because if they've got human teeth, they wouldn't have, it wouldn't be a sharp bite animation. Okay. So this is apparently I can't even tell. What the hell? My goodness me, that people, it's totally, no, that's fake. That is not real. Someone's done that on purpose and put human teeth on there, right? I don't know. I'm so confused what deer's teeth are. I'm like, are they human? Are they sharp? I can't. It's something new that you learn every day. I can't even tell. It looks like it's got no teeth. Deers have no teeth. Is this confirmed? Because every deer I'm looking at, they don't have teeth. Oh my goodness. My nightmares. I used to think deers were cute. Ghosty, thank you for the host. How are you doing? So good to see. Look at these jaws. They have teeth. Look at the bones. What's this? Okay. But that doesn't tell me what the teeth look like. To me, they look like human teeth. I want to see a deer smiling, please. And that will tell me everything I need to know. From the front, ideally. I just don't know what's real and what's fake anymore. But it seems that the teeth look like humans. Yeah, human teeth. What is this? Basically we have a deer enemy and it has a skill called diseased bite, and I was gonna like have a sharp teeth animation for it, but then I was like, hang on a minute, did deers even have sharp teeth? So this is where we are now. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, it's not going to have sharp teeth, so we can't use that if we want to be realistic. So there'll have to be another sort of bite animation. So let's get back to Raindrop Chronicles and have a peek. So there's that bite, there's that bite. I think there was one more bite one, but... Right, so this one I'm going to leave for now because I'm going to have to scour the internet for biting assets. And I want to, we might waste some time if we look, so... thinking... do later. Okay, so we'll leave disease bite for now. Charge is quite simple. We'll just delete that because I haven't done it yet. Charge can literally be a bash. a deer bash, I guess. What would a deer sound like when it bashes into somebody? Should we watch a video of a deer charging? Deer. I don't want to see a deer killing anyone though. That's something I don't want to see. I'm on YouTube right now. If I find a video, I'll get it up. Maybe it's a vampire deer corrupted by Rose's attack on the town years ago. Oh, there was some. Now that you bring vampires up, I was thinking about Rose and the fact that she's a vampire, and I'm kind of torn what direction to take with Rose. Like, will she be able to suck blood out of anything, no matter what it is, even if it's something that doesn't have blood, like a rock enemy that doesn't have blood? Plants don't have blood either. Or will she only be useful in battle against creatures that actually do have blood? If we want to go for the whole realism route, then that would be what we'd do. She'd only be good against things that have got blood. People, the last time we talked about this, people suggested that, I don't know, I can't remember what was suggested now, but people did have a couple of ideas that it should be somewhere in a notepad file and some notes, but there's ways around it. Who knows? Maybe like in a skill tree, she could have a passive that like means that she becomes powerful enough to have the life essence of any creature, but that should be when she's stronger. Or she could even equip an accessory that makes her be able to do that. Or maybe she should just be able to do it anyway, but maybe that'll just make her too OP. And it's nice to have a bit of realism. So one enemy she will be able to suck the blood from is the deer, though, that's for sure, even if we go with this route, because deers have blood. Bees have blood, guys? I've never killed a bee before, so I wouldn't know. I feel like they don't, but maybe I'm very wrong. Flowers, mushrooms and plants obviously are plants, so they wouldn't have blood. Stumpy and Father Maple have got maple syrup, sappy creatures, so they wouldn't have the blood. So interesting. It's interesting to think if we'd take that route, and then if Rose sucks against a certain enemy, that would just mean she sucks against them in battle. They do, but it's not red. Yeah, what colour is this? Is it green blood? Ew. Interesting. And I suppose, like, I mean, there's many routes we could take with vampires. Like, I don't know. I think somebody suggested that we just have Rose be somebody that sucks life essence out of any creature, but I feel like that's kind of, it takes the whole point away from her being a blood vampire. I mean, this is why it's very blood. It's about blood, not sucking sap out of insects and stuff. But like I said, maybe she could have learn a passive skill or equip an accessory that kind of makes her able to do that. It's just a bit of extra detail for lore and realism. Yeah, I guess that's why I'm considering this. But back to the deer skills. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, I was looking for a YouTube video at a deer charging, because I want to see what kind of sound a deer makes when it charges. But I found one video, but it involves killing an animal, so I don't want to look at that one. There's an elk. An elk's kind of like a deer, isn't it? Hang on. Can't hear any sound in it though. Oh dear. An elk's attacking a man with his antlers. yes, deers were so violent. This is propaganda. Deers are cute. Oh, I put in deer charging into YouTube, and there's videos coming up saying deer attacks man, deer kills man, and making deers look to be these horrible creatures, but they're not. They're adorable. Deer attacks me and my dad. Ah, that's a cute baby deer. Yeah, it's kind of like knowing what sound it would be when a deer bashes, especially if they use their antlers to do it, the charge. Because I have to be super precise when searching these sound effects. And I mean, we could always put in deer charging and see what comes up, but usually it won't let us be that. Usually there's nothing that precise. Nope. Could put in deer, see what happens. So I need a specific word. Deer horns. You have a nice English accent. Thank you, Fright. Appreciate that. And how are you? Welcome to the stream. Google says amber colour. Thanks, Google. Oh, okay. So bees have orange amber coloured blood. You learn something new all the time. So there's a few sounds here. A lot of them are going to be bad, probably. But you get the odd good one among them. But yeah, I'm going to have another peep and see what other sound effects we can have. There's the bee as well. Needle sting, bee sting. That's an easy one. We can look for a bee sting sound. Ah, I think bumblebees are cute. Okay, so there's no actual bee sting sound. Put sting in and say. There was another good website, another good sound website, so I'll go on that one as well. So, the bee buzz, we have ominous drone, bee drone. So, and that's the swarm attack. So we could definitely, that'll be easy enough, hopefully. I'm gonna just YouTube bee drone. A bee drone is literally just a bee buzz, right? I assume, because we can just use your standard buzzing net sound for that skill. But yeah, swarm, it basically just swarms. The queen bee swarms a worker bee into battle on that skill. And I suppose a buzzing bee drone or whatever can be the pick. You have nice English text. Hi, Battle Sandwich, how you doing? Good to see you. That you missed that you were talking about bees, so it started to look around the room for a buzzing. So you thought there was an actual bee in your room. Oh no. Hi, Bell Sandwich. How's your day going? Oh, I didn't cross it off. But that'll cheer anyone's day up. Maybe not. Kung's gonna. This is the opposite of ASMR for Kung. Does anybody find the noise of bees very pleasant? That is not pleasant. But yeah, there's loads. Like we've got 5 pages of potential noises, and a lot of them won't be fitting, but some could fit for the swarm attack. But I like the sounds to be short, probably between 2 and 4 seconds at the most for the skill. So most of the time, super short ones. Bumblebees, you don't mind. Wasps, however. I agree. Bees are good. Wasps aren't. Remember, I was helping a friend re-roof in high school and got my hand in a nest. Oh no. Oh dear. I've never been stung by a bee before. Gone through all my life without that happening. Just sitting with some cheap coffee and a pup. I'm gonna start attempting to be productive. We'll see how it goes. Oh, what are your plans? I did save a bee once. It fell in the toilet and I got it out. I was very brave. So I'm going to put in brackets what the sound could sound like. So we've got swarm. I'm going to say buzzing bee noise for swarm. Ominous drone's actually a different skill, and that could be different. I just don't. I googled bee drone, but nothing's coming up. I'm gonna actually define what drone is. Yeah, it's a buzz. It's another buzz. So it just probably be a different type, different kind. Probably a bit. Drone is also named for a kind of bee. It is, isn't it? I found that out when I searched the YouTube video. I always thought drone, like, well, when I think of drone, I always think of like a very obnoxious noise. Okay, needle sting. I wonder if we put sting in here, whether we'll get a sound of a sting. Would that be? That just says insect sting. It isn't specifically for a bee, but who knows? Thank you for that follow, BT. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Because if we put in bee sting, usually we don't get anything because it's too specific. So we might have to just go for good old insect sting. But I've never been stung by a bee before, so I wouldn't know what an insect sting sounds like. Drone is also, yeah, it might be ambiguous to search. I imagine a more loud, unpleasant buzz than a normal buzz. Just a more intense buzz. So whereas for the swarm skill, it would probably be more a softer buzz when the bee's summoned. For ominous drone, it'd be more intense, perhaps. So needle sting, we might already have that if we literally just go for this. Or is that too subtle? Well, that ain't appropriate. What's that? That is no sting. Wow. I apologise, that was no ASMR. In my experience, angry insect noises and shouty people noises. Yeah, angry is a good way to describe it, like an angry buzz. Because what drone does, the ability is it makes the bees stronger, makes their attack power go up as well. So definitely more intense sounding buzz probably. So for needle sting, I'll literally just put insect sting in brackets. Pollen puke. Pollen puke is our flowers skill. And we know what our little cute flower is. We showed him earlier on. So we already have a kind of puke skill. The toxic plant, this one. That's a poison attack and it's really gross. So so we could go for something similar to that, but it would be a cuter puke sound because this flower has a very cute little voice, as proven here. Oh, so it would be like a really high-pitched puke noise, I guess. We could change the pitch. I wonder what that noise that we use for the toxic plant sounds like when it's high pitch. Let's look. So that's it on that. Ugh, that sounds horrible. That ain't cute. I'm going to Google cute puking noise, but let's face it, nothing will come up for that. I don't think there'll ever be such a sound as a cute puking noise. But you never know. Maybe we can discover it on the internet today. So, other than that, charge and retribution. Charge we weren't sure about, because I don't even know what a deer charging into something sounds like. But I assume if it uses its antlers, what are antlers made out of? What sort of noise? I need to definitely find a reference for that because I have no clue to even describe the noise antlers make when they hit something. That's yeah, I don't know. Retribution. That's one that I have a question mark over because it's such a. All it involves is the deer's eyes turning red, and it might be a bit over the top if we just have this like spoopy noise to accompany that. Waddle, that's Stumpy's attack, and that we don't know yet either. Spook is a sneeze. We've already got that done. Panda sneeze that Storm Eagle did. Runaway is done. Yeah, it's just Waddle and Sticky Fingers for Stumpy. Oh yeah, Thunderous Bark. We could look for a noise for Daddy Stumpy. He would have a very deep voice, I would say. Oh, we need a noise for Protective Pancake as well. I wonder what Protective Pancake would sound like. So I'm going to say deep bark and see what comes up for this. Sounds mushy. Yeah, like mushy syrupy pancakes. We'll search for pancake noises in a sec. And that'll make us all very hungry, won't it? Deep bark, there's nothing. If I just put in bark, we'll just get dog barks. But we could always change the pitch. Like, we could pick the best dog bark for thunderous bark, for the big tray. And but somebody said it could be better as a roar. We might be better going for a lion's roar sound than a dog bark, because the thing with a bark, they're usually very short and quick, but roars are longer, and it might be more fitting. And the only reason we called it thunderous bark is because it was a pun, because tree bark. Soft and sticky. I'm going to put that in brackets so I remember Kung. So protected pancake sound. Mushy, soft, sticky. And sticky fingers would be similar, I guess. Like, I imagine with sticky fingers, it would be very gooey, a gooey sound. Bubbly gooey. And it'd be kind of similar with protected pancake, I guess. The only thing that's different between sticky fingers and protected pancake is that there's actually a pancake there, not just the syrup. What would adjective food sound like, you say? Right, so I don't know. Oh my god, there's about a bazillion sounds to look for that I've listed, and I don't even know where to begin because we've got so many. But I feel like we could look for the pancake noise. That's a pancake. That is not a pancake. That's a horrible noise. Yeah, that's someone cooking a pancake. Hi, National. Looking for like a plop? Protected pancake, the skill is a very creative one, and I'm still trying to vision it, to be honest. What protected pancake's going to be like, but it's going to be a barrier. That's what we do now. It's a barrier that protects the tray. So the idea I have in mind is that the barrier looks like a pancake as much as we can possibly get it to look. But we're trying to think of a sound effect that could accompany that pancake barrier as best as possible, I guess. A good one. Killer pancake is... Oh, is it? Expert on violent pancake. That's a coincidence, Bell Sandwich. Look for the kind of noise you get when flipping food over on a pan, like, you know, when they toss it into the air, sort of catch it again. Oh, okay, maybe there'll be one here, or maybe not. It seems like this page is all we've got for pancakes. But we can go on other sound effects sites. We've got this one as well. Let me put pancake in here and see what comes up. How dare you? Pancake noises should exist everywhere. 0 results. We sound something to sound like a plop. What's the context for it? Where it did even come from? It's a happy sound. What's the website? Could even brown for a sec. We've got Zapsplat. We've got freesound.org. But basically anything that lets you have sounds for free. Like any website that it could, as long as it's free, that's all that matters. I don't know if a plop, I mean, because when I think of a plop, isn't that like landing on the ground, or am I wrong? Because the pancake won't be on the ground, it'll be a barrier pancake, it'll be a floating barrier pancake. So that'll be in front of the tree protecting it, sort of thing. But having the pancake noises in certainly will add the context, so I feel like it's definitely important to have those pancake sounds. But I guess it's thinking of what type of pancake sounds. How dare you? You just made me burst out laughing for a sec. Really appreciate that. Yeah, because there's no results for pancake. This website do not know what's good for them, do they? No pancake sounds. I've obviously never had a pancake before. If they'd had, there'd be a million pancake noises up here. A fizzing sound. Yeah. One person suggested that we put a little bit of butter, a little square of butter on our pancake barrier in the animation. What does butter sound like when it's on a pancake? But I guess we need to listen to some pancake noise. It's really difficult to imagine it. Well, it is difficult for me to anyway, without actually hearing some sounds. But this website did have them, but you know, they've not got many. Making pancake, what's that? Yeah, a lot of them are pancakes fizzing and being made. But this pancake's already been made. It's a cooked pancake with butter on it. So sound splash, what was that? Zap splat, but this is the silly website that doesn't have any pancake sounds. I'm very sorry, owners of the website, if you're in the stream, in case you're offended. Not that you would be, but just get some pancake noises on here and we'll all be happy. Gosh, people are gonna think I'm the pancake girl the way I'm going. Melting, bubbling and fizzing. Oh, melting's a good one, and bubbling as well. I'm gonna write down all your awesome adjectives, Kung. And I can't spell. Because it's all, these are the words you need. These words Kung saying they will help us find good sounds. Because clearly putting in words like pancake doesn't do much good. We have to be a bit more descriptive, don't we? And I think putting in some like adjectives like that is probably the way to go. Make some pancake batter and record cooking pancakes so we can isolate some audio. Awesome, you guys are the best. I'm sure we'll totally get some good sounds, but I like knowing you guys have got my back. Also, butter is literally no noise unless you have a big tub of it and punch it or something. Yeah, I guess we don't have to have the butter make a noise. It's already on the pancake anyway. Well, it will be when I do the animation. So really, it's just thinking of what the actual pancake sounds like. It's as simple as that. Kunga said mushy, soft, sticky, melting, bubbling and fizzing. So we could see what comes up if we put those words in. What's this? Knife into flesh? I don't think I want to listen to that. I did not type in mushy to get such violence. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sim, for the follow. I appreciate that. How are you doing today? So let's not listen to that one. It says gore and bone break. So that won't be very nice on this fine afternoon to listen to. Soft. I think I prefer the freesound.org website out the two, but you never know, there could be something on here. Ugh. You might not need the sound effect if you have the character making a noise in the room, like menacing laughter or something. Yeah, we could make Father Maple, the big tree, have this like really deep laugh. We could go for that route, but I think I liked the idea of having a bit of context to the pancake, like just especially because it's hard to pull it off visually. I might end up doing a barrier that looks nothing like a pancake, and because the skill's called protective pancake. Even it just has to be subtle. We can even have two sounds. We could even have the tree making a noise along with the pancake noise. That's also an idea too. What is this exactly? I just saw the title and was like, yes, I'm checking this out. Awesome, Sim, welcome. Well, we have a command, a project command. So feel free to read that. We're making a game together. We're kind of focusing a lot on sounds and battle animations this week, because we've just like finished implementing our very first enemy skills for the first dungeon. So we're just trying to make them more lifelike, I guess, and realistic, just because it'll add a lot to the battles to do these little small things. Search word slime has a few interesting sounds that might work for a pancake, maybe. Hi, Loden, how you doing? It's good to see you. Should we put in slime? We've got another sound website too, so even if this one doesn't bring up any good ones, so we can look at some others. This sounds amazing. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind. We have a lot of fun here, don't we, chat? We're all just like RPG nerds, really, and we like being goofy and storytelling. So yeah, if you like that sort of thing, you'll like it here. That's good. That's funny. But yeah, I guess a pancake and a slime have a few things in common, don't they? Oh, that's a drip. Was that related to a pancake? Have we got any pancake pros in chat? Battle Sandwich is a pancake pro. And Kungis, so you'll have to, well, you won't have to. Nobody's forced to do anything. But if you are around, then feel free to let me know if any of these catch your fancy for a pancake. Because I'm going to just click play on some of them. I'm going to turn the audio up actually on my end so you can hear it properly. Gloop. That's quite interesting, Loudon, actually, the slime connection. And because slimes are kind of sound effects that we have a lot, like especially in video games, there's going to be a lot of them, and there is definitely a connection. You're looking through stuff. So now look, so far, if you can't find something fitting, I'm willing to make pancakes and see if you can get a good sound or two from it. You can if you want to give it a go. Totally welcome, Battle Sandwich, and you can always pop the sound effect in the Discord for sure. But no, obviously, don't go through too much trouble, but it's totally up to you. I was thinking about trying to find a sound for when you drop a slimy thing on the ground, that splotch sound you get. Yeah, I mean, how about a flop? That's a pancake sound. Should we put in flop and see what happens? I think so far the slime has been probably the best out of what we've got. So we'll keep this tabbed up. Flop. Flip flop. What's this? So we got a load of irrelevant sounds coming up. Let's go back to free sound, because they might have some better ones. Is it? Oh damn, it's useless. There's a lot of there's a lot of walking sounds like flip flops, it seems, rather than floppity flops. Pancakey flops. You went through the whole list? Oh my goodness me. Well, I appreciate it. That's very kind of you. We'll still... I sound very light, very wet, soggy pancakes, this one. But it could fit. We've got sticky fingers as well. And the sticky fingers noise, it's going to be very gooey. So this one could fit for sticky fingers maybe as well. Even if we don't use it for the actual pancake. So... could work for sticky fingers. Yeah, defo. I've still got to do the animation for sticky fingers. I'm looking for a sort of water animation that looks like a laser beam, and then I've just changed the colour of it to golden. That was kind of the plan, but it's actually really hard to find that sort of animation, but we'll find one. We'll try. Okay, so what else have we got? I mean, so we talk about the pancake, but feel free to still have a peek if you want, guys, for the pancake. But I'm going to talk about some other sounds as well. We might return to the pancake later. We have to look for some assets for the pancake too. So we could do that. Let's get Father Maple up here so we've got the relevant asset. So this little guy, well, it's not a little guy. This big guy here is going to actually be the enemy that uses the protective pancake skill. He's called Father Maple. Protective pancake, is that the second skill? It is. Thunderous Bark is the first and protective pancake is the second. So we'll leave a gap for Thunderous Bark. It was originally called Protective Pancake Shield, but I have shortened it to just Protective Pancake. It just makes it a bit more versatile. And it was kind of an idea for a Protective Pancake to be a rare drop from this enemy. And we can have it as an accessory then, rather than a shield. Because it limits us having it as a shield, because the characters that are currently in the party don't even use shields. Father Maple, what a nice guy, that pun though, yeah. He's Father Maple. It's perfect for him, isn't it? Because he's the father of Stumpy. And Stumpy is, Stumpy's famous in this stream. If you've come more than once, you'll definitely know who Stumpy is. But if it is your first time here, Stumpy is this little guy here. I want to get him up bigger for you though. He's the son of Father Maple. It's going to be a bit of lore behind them both, because we're going to have a side quest with Stumpy. One of our community members who hangs out here has actually been doing some Stumpy assets. They're fabulous. Okay, so look at the underbite. Accessory probably is better. It is, because that means anybody can use it. And there's still a question mark what the protective pancake accessory will actually do, but it will relate it to the protective pancake as much as possible, because pretty much it's going to work as a barrier, an extra bit of HP or something like that. We still haven't really mechanically had an idea of it yet, but I think this is going to be one of those abilities that will be better to think more once we've done it visually, because but the first idea was have a shield, like not an extra bit of HP, but an extra bit of barrier kind of health, because there is a plugin that does that, a Yanfly plugin. I think it's called Absorption Barrier or something. It literally just adds a bit of health to the but that was one idea of what protective pancake could be. Those stun pressets with a bomb. My dog sister is the cutest. Yeah, put him in the Discord. Oh no recent pictures. Oh bless. He's Stumpy's daddo, I approve. Yeah, he's the daddo. And basically what's happened is Stumpy, at the moment, Stumpy flees from battle. You can't actually kill Stumpy. He runs away. He goes running to his daddy to tell him he's been hurt. And this is why he's here. Very mad. But we can kill the daddy. The daddy will die. Stumpy doesn't know. But you can kill Stumpy in the side quest if you take the evil path. If you take the good path, Stumpy will have a very happy ending. But if you take the evil path, he won't. Hey Rose, this is kind of less field, but have you watched Blackadder? I haven't, Elite. I have heard of it, but I haven't watched it. Plus defense, res, HP, whatever, and a passive ability called defensive syrup or something that reduces the speed of anyone that attacks the wearer. Ooh. Yeah, so it could work like Leave Me Alone, where it's literally just a defense buff, or it could be a sort of region thing, or a barrier. I feel like we should put a poll up to get this 100% decided. What do you guys think? What I'm going to do, I'm going to put up a Twitch poll because they're quick. They only last for 3 minutes, so you have to get your votes in fast, but they're really good to do when we just want a quick thing settled, like when we kind of stuck with what to do, like what route to take. And I feel like we need that for protective pancakes. So I'm gonna do a poll and I'm gonna say, what should protective pancake do? So one option is raise yeah, I'll put what should Father Maple's protective pancake skill do. Raise Father Maple's defense. Oh no, I can't. Stupid character limit. I'll just put his defense. Hi Van, how you doing? We're about to put up a poll. Good timing. You get to have your say now. How's it going, Van? You having a good day? Who doesn't love voting? Was just throwing up an idea. We could probably base a decision on that. What other equipment is the point when we add items? Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to consider, like, what's it going to do for Father Maple as well, and make it, I mean, we can always be a little bit more flexible with the actual accessory, but for Father Maple as well, it's good to get this sorted because it's the only skill so far that hasn't been complete. All the other skills for all the other seven enemies I've done and dusted. They're all working perfectly, apart from having the sounds and animations with them all. They're working great. So it's only protective pancake that there's still a question mark about. So really your suggestions were cool, Balsamic. So it could either raise his defense, add a shield barrier with that. Oh, hang on. I must say the character limit in this poll is very limiting because I have to like really shorten what I'm trying to say, and it's not easy to do that sometimes. So I'm actually gonna write a tweet to Twitch later and be like, can you not have a character limit on the polls, please? Oh, no, I probably won't see it. Does Father Maple use Leave Me Alone? Got ya. No, Toxic Plant uses Leave Me Alone. Let's get RPG Maker up. So Leave Me Alone here, Toxic Plant. Let's get, where is he? I do like to put the relevant enemy there. So all that does is it brings some they're not really leaves, plants out the ground, and it just like animates looking like they're protecting him really. So basically all that does, it's a defense. It raises his defense. It makes him harder to kill as fast. So it's quite simple really. I mean, protective pancake, no reason why it couldn't do the same thing, but I think it'd be cool if it was a bit different to just a defense buff, being as Leave Me Alone already does that. But we'll see what people say. I was confused. Percent chance trigger barrier on hit plus defense res slow enemies who hit where. I don't know about how short. It's super short. I'm telling you, there's like literally only 20 characters in these options. I'm really struggling to fit everything in, so I'm gonna have to really be brief. So I've put raises defense. That's one option. Res, do you mean like a by res, do you mean region or something, or do you mean something else? I'm sorry if that's a really noob question. I'm just trying to, it's not really a one I'm familiar with. Resistance, oh okay, cool. It just means the same as defense then, that's all you mean. Magic defense. I see. Well, it's magic defense. We don't really have any magic people in the party yet, so just all good old defense it is. Okay, so just trying my best to get these answers in. I'm not showing you what I'm putting in because it'll be spoilers, but it'll be up soon. I'm taking some Battle Sandwiches ideas. So if you've got any ideas for what Protected Pancake can do, say them in chat now, okay? So, because the poll will be up soon and this is the last chance. So... the barrier does something different depending on what the player does. Get a sugar high from biting, slowed for attacking, and the shield gets dispelled. I think that would be cool if he was a boss, especially one later. But because this is the first dungeon and he's not even a boss, he's just an enemy. It could be well OP to give Protected Pancake too much. So we'll just keep it simple and just pick one of them. I mean, Thunderous Spark and the other attack are quite OP as well. One's an AoE and Thunderous Spark is a stun. So, you know, it's going to be a very hard battle if we make Protected Pancake too OP. So we're going to have to pick, guys. You're going to have to pick your fave out of all the ideas. How about add a stacking defense buff like a stack of pancakes? That's pretty creative, Elite. I like it. So, it's probably not going to let me be that detailed. Hang on. I could always add that as another option. Give me a my. I would like to suggest that we do both a stat boost and a fancy effect. Just add the stat boost, very minor. Just adds a little extra personality to the item, if that makes sense, like plus def and plus def and then the actual point of the item. Oh, you're thinking about the accessory Battle Sandwich then. Cool, yeah. When the accessory drops, there's no harm in it being a bit different to the actual Protected Pancake that Father Maple used. We don't have to be too rigid and make it have the exact same mechanics, so that's cool. So no worries at all. Although overall it'll be work similar. But yeah, cool. We're going to have an item stream once we've got the skill stuff out of the way, and I feel like it'll be a really good time to talk about that accessory then as well, for sure. I'm pretty newbie with items at the moment. I haven't really messed with them at all. Damage defense buff on top of his own defense or absorbs damage to a point before it starts hitting him, like how a pancake absorbs syrup. Okay, let me absorb all these ideas myself and get them in, because I need to shorten them when putting them in the poll, unfortunately, because of the character limit. But so I'll have to try my best to think how to write it so peeps understand. So absorbs damage. I suppose that we only are allowed 5. This Twitch Pro is very limited. We're only allowed 5 options. So we're gonna have to pick the best ones that get suggested. So what's the difference between absorbing damage and general defense raise? What would be different mechanically? Just make sure that I'm getting it, so I'm on the same page. You are literally a genius. Let's read. If you have the passive skills plugin already, I want to say you do, could be misremembering. You could do stacking buffs, debuffs with that. I probably have it, but if I don't have it, I'm a patron to Yanfly now, so I can easily get it and add it. That's no problem at all. So I believe it is a Yanfly plugin, isn't it? You have a firm... Yeah, you are super good for sure, guys. I appreciate the feedback. Father Maple sounds like one of those weird JRPG NPCs you have to eat through 3 pancakes before you can hurt my babies. Yeah, so you like the stacking mechanic. I can see the appeal with the stacking defense buff mechanics, so I've added that as an option. So far I have Rose's defense. I've got add stacking defense buffs, absorbs damage, gives shield / HP boost, or slows those that hit him. Those are the options so far, but I can change one to something else if there's something even better. Stack of defense books, yeah, that stacks defense buffs. Yeah, there we go. So that's in there, elite. Absorbing damage would just prevent damage, so it's technically more effective than just defense. So it's just more of a better way to do a defense thing then after. So cool. I think the 5 we've got work. We can go with these and get that poll up now if you'd like, guys. It is simple. You can just use the add buff feature, those stack. And oh, they actually built in the game. So what does the plugin do that's different then? I'm sure there's some benefit to the plugin otherwise, because Yanfly usually has very good plugins that do benefit somehow. Complex cuts can come later. I was thinking if you wanted to stack more complicated stuff, man, I'm getting excited, but I was literally thinking my bad. No bad at all. I love you guys getting excited. One of the reasons I do these streams is so people can get excited. I mean, it's amazing that people actually do. To be honest, I love it. It makes me super happy that I'm doing this. I believe that the plugin lets you adjust exactly how much each buff is, lets you change the upper and lower limbs. Oh, okay, cool. So I'm going to get this poll in now, everyone. So make sure you're around in the next few minutes if you want to have a vote. Otherwise, if you don't vote, you won't get the chance to have your say. Your idea might not get picked. So the max we can have the poll up for is 3 minutes. And this is all about Father Maple's protective pancake skill, the quirky, amazing skill that we all love so much and have been discussing for like over a week now. So let's get it up. And I hope there's no typos in it. It's up now. Plugin, you can ignore and outlet your stat buttons such as I have a normal stat but that's not needed. Oh, we could always use it in the future when some of the enemies get more complex, I guess, maybe. And like same with what National's idea was, it could be cool to have a few different mechanics, but because it's so early game, we don't want to overcomplicate it at this stage. Like, it's the first dungeon, it's a bit of a tutorial, I guess, to just slowly introduce people with some of the mechanics the enemies will have. Oh my goodness, so get your votes in. We've only got one so far, so get them in. Prepare voter influencer complaint. Look, at least said in regards to stat boost, I only ever looked into use for stuff outside stat changes, so my thinking of it is a bit out of context. No worries. Elite's already got an idea for what his character's going to be, and I must say it's got me excited. I can't wait to get this character sheet done, Elite, once you've actually done it. And we've got Juices and Fantasias and White What's to do as well in the coming weeks. Some I might do off stream, but sometimes I do them on stream too. Whoever voted gives Shield HPP, she may need to be a tiebreaker. Well, how long's left of the poll? It doesn't tell me. It doesn't have a timer up. I wish it did. I wish it did. Need to work on this over weekend when I have time to read up on the story. Yeah, sure. And if you have any questions at all, Elite, about any lore that we've decided, or you're curious about anything, just shoot me a message and I'll be happy to answer if it'll help with your character. But I think I discussed the main things earlier when you were here earlier in the stream. But if you have more questions, then feel free to ask, of course. So we're getting the votes in. We got one that's looking to be the winner, but I think we've still got a minute left. Warning for part. Oh, does it tell you? It doesn't for me. Maybe because I'm on slobs. If I was on Twitch, maybe it would tell me. Maybe it's because I'm the one that made the poll, the reason why it hasn't. It's okay if I make my own face for my character and send you an expression palette. Oh, if you've got, say, if you're very focused on your vision for your character, feel free to like do a template for him for sure and send it me. So I guess so that it's as close as possible to what you want him to be. I mean, I designed the character sheets myself, but you guys have freedom on what you want your character to look like. So, and because you use RPG Maker anyway, it's not a problem. So, yeah, feel free to send over the asset if you've got a vision in mind, and then I'll put him together in the character sheet for you. Okay, though, I'm going to get back to other stuff and listening along. No doubt I'll get distracted. 6 minutes from now, drop back in. Oh, as long as we're not disrupting you, Battle Sandwich. I don't want to get you in trouble. Making one for my game anyway, so I'll send you. Yeah, considering he's already a character in your game, I wouldn't want to make him look nothing like him. So, I mean, really, as long as he matches up with one of the 8 races, and you know his assets are like matching with the rest of the cast, and he doesn't look weird or different style, then it's all fine. We want the artwork to be consistent, of course, but if you just stick into what's already in the RPG Maker generator, then there shouldn't be a problem at all. Might even devote some of today's stream to making the villain's face. Awesome, Elite. I'm excited. He's human base assets, yeah. Oh, he's a human, is he? Big fan of internal consistency. I mean, you talking about your villain, it's already given me Dark Tower vibes. I'm like going to be rereading the series, so it wouldn't surprise me if Raindrop Chronicles ends up being very inspired by it at this rate. But we'll see. It's a great story, so I won't complain at that. And although it sounds like a frigging serious as hell morbid book, it's not. It's wacky as hell. It's got a talking train in it. So that says it all. It's we have a talking barrel. Dark Tower is a talking train. That's okay. It's a great adventure. Yeah, one thing I want to make sure of is that everything is consistent. That's why we're going to be sticking with the same battle assets as well. I don't know how to pronounce his name. What's the battler's name again? It begins with an I, the artist that does the battlers that we're using. So we're going to be sticking to him and editing what Storm Eagle's done when he's edited the base assets with Stumpy's perfectly fine, as long as it's good, of course, which Storm Eagles have been, and consistent with the art, then it's cool. But what we wouldn't want is if they ends up looking nothing like the same game, because then it'll lack the consistency. That's okay. It's a great adventure. Yay. Hi, Cheese. How are you doing today? It's awesome to see you. We just voted on a poll and you missed it. But have we got it? What won? Okay, so that was Elite's suggestion, the stacking of the defence buffs. And it kind of kicked everything else's butt. So, the absorbing damage is an interesting one. That came runner-up. So, because that came runner-up, that'll probably be a mechanic we'll introduce in an upcoming enemy in the game. If we don't do it in Everbloom Forest, which we probably won't unless it's the boss, then we'll do it in the next dungeon or something, because it's always good to have like a variety of different mechanics. I don't want all the enemies to be clones of each other, because that's boring. So definitely keep these mechanics in mind for some future enemies if they're relevant. For sure. So Father Maple's protective pancake skill, we've got it decided, everybody. We had a big question mark over what protective pancake's actually going to do, and we've decided. So that means we can edit the skill description. Currently it used to be a barrier, but it's different to that now. Now we've done the poll. It stacks defense buffs, so let's get that in it. Shall I write anything else in the description, Elite or chat, to if I can expand on it? Feel free to tell me if you think I should expand on this description. So at the moment I'm just having stacks defense buffs, but the reason it's really cool and why I like it having this mechanic is because it fits pancake stack. So having it, the actual mechanics of the skills have stacking as well. It connects perfectly to what a pancake does, and I really like that. And this now we've got the idea in mind for the skill. If there's any like visual animations or sound effects you can imagine for this skill, feel free to say, because we want to make this kind of give us some new ideas, I guess. I suppose a sound effect of stacking pancakes, or we'll have to think. We'll have to have a think. Okay, so oh my goodness, we have been chatting, I see. Repo, Father Maple, how is old Bludger? He's doing good, isn't he, Father Maple? We'll see him in a sec. We'll go on the animation menu and put him in there. We'll have a think about what animations we can have for protective pancake now. I'm kind of talking more about Father Maple today because he's the one enemy we haven't really discussed this week. We've talked a lot about Stumpy. We've talked about the other smaller enemies in the dungeon. So it'll be nice to chat about Father Maple today. And this is the last stream of the week. And once this week's over with, we kind of going to be leaving the animation and sound effects for a bit, and we're going to move back onto the player skill stuff and the skill trees. So that'll be more next week's stream, because although enemy skills are important, so are the player skills. So we can't just have enemies with skills, and I'm kind of working on those from the bottom of the menu and working way up, just to keep the player skills separate to the enemy skills, to keep it organised, I guess. Protective pancakes, make a stack of pancakes to protect his children. You must eat through these pancakes before you can harm my children, hero. Should we have like a bit of dialogue, going on here? Because we kind of gone for the dialogue route with Stumpy. Where are we? Where is the common event? There, it should be here. Yeah, and this was Dr. Cheese's submission, wasn't it? That, dear Lord, my very soul has become petrified. Save me, Father Maple. So, does this mean Stumpy's a really, religious, little posh little tree who talks in very intelligent language? Is he going to be that type of character now What would Father Maple's sort of personality be like? What do you guys imagine Father Maple to be like? It's kind of interesting now, because we have done the dialogue box, which makes me think, shall we explore that more in the battle with Father Maple, maybe? Anyway, let me catch up with chat because I'm really behind, and then I'll start rambling again after, because I'm looking and I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of chat here to catch up on. If it's an enemy skill, you don't really need a description, cool. I kind of put it there just so I remember more than anything. Pancake stack. Maybe a noise similar to fabric being flopped on top of another fabric would get the right noise. Keep thinking of stacking tiles. I'll copy and paste that suggestion, Kai. Thanks very much. Because it's very likely I'm not going to finish all these sounds today. I'm certainly not going to get them on stream, in one stream, in the next hour and a half. So I like make a little notepad file of them in, and then over the weekend I'll get some good ones, and I might even share them in the Discord if or I'm just on Monday's stream at the start I might do a test play of all the battles to show you all. We'll see how it goes. Father Maple should have an ability that covers the heroes in a sticky maple syrup that could inhibit speed. That was one of the options in the poll. Slows down here. Right, I should have voted for that then, shouldn't you, Cheese? Your name reminds me of a BMO from Adventure Time. Oh, yeah. Is that why you did it, Kai? Was that your inspiration? It's possible to do % chance of dialogue at start of combat, I think. Oh, okay. And that, like, you know, gives a bit of RNG, I guess. And that'll be cool. I think we kind of briefly discussed having that sort of thing, didn't we, Battle Sandwich, a few streams ago? With enough devotion that he may one day turn into Father Maple. You can add it to the Encounters Troops tab. Can't remember the name that involved Father Maple, I think. Cool. I can't remember. We did it as a common event rather than a troop for Stumpy. And I forgot the reason for that, but there was a reason. I think it didn't work properly as a battle event. Stumpy could be a little HIT, but Father Maple is serious but lawful good character. Oh, really? I think Stumpy should be a little bit of a troublemaker, even though he's as lovable as hell and everybody is going to cry if he dies. Wise old tree, pardon my French. Oh, by the way, this is very important to mention now that the wise old tree trope's been brought up. This could change things a bit now that I mention this, but it's very important. Some people might not know, especially if you weren't here in the first 10 streams. It's a lore thing in Lakefall, but we do have a wise old tree in Lakefall, and of course it isn't Father Maple. This is another tree, and this is our wise old tree. This tree is good. He's like he like gives wise words of wisdom to the people of Lakefall, and he's kind of like their protector after the massacre that's happened when all the graves are here. So I can't believe I forgot to mention that. My bad. So because of that, shall we change Father Maple? Should Father Maple be his evil brother, or, you know, just the evil demon of the Everbloom Forest? I mean, if we're fighting him, it kind of makes sense for him to be a bad guy, I guess, and this guy to be good. But let's discuss things now that we've brought that to light. Pardon my French. Father Maple is a protector of the forest who hates the woodsman because not only do they cut down trees, but also sit on his stumpy children. Oh my goodness, the poor stumpies. Loves his kids and might be overprotective. He's seen a lot of woodcutters come along making a mess of the forest. It's fun. It's quite interesting you've brought up kids, like lots of little stumpies, because at the moment we only have one stumpy. And it's going to be, like, we have multiple stumpy encounters. Well, 2, I think, maybe, but it's the same stumpy. But it would be really cute if we found out there was other stumpies. And it was part of the story, who knows. The Sounds of the Forest is out now on CD. Oh, the woodman's fart. My nickname was from teenage nickname. I had Katie Emo. That was your teenage nickname. That's funny, Kay. He prefers nice square butter and a thick maple syrup on his pancakes. You could develop his art like that. He starts off that he's really annoying, but maybe you uncover his softer side later. Yeah, because Stumpy is a bit of a, I mean, listen to this giggle. That's Stumpy laughing when he runs away. How cheeky is that laugh? So yeah, maybe that does fit Cheese, but really Stumpy's adorable and there's no taking that away from him. Brother Maple. Is that a maple tree though? What sort of tree is this, guys? I'm no tree expert, so I'm going to need some education here. I think he should be a rival. Evil twin brother. They have different ideas growing up. Hi, Legmark. Oh my lord, I can't get enough of listening to this. Oh my god, you're going to give me a massive ego, Legmark. Please don't ever stop streaming. We must sabotage production of this game so it lasts forever. Well, Legmark, this is the never-ending game. We have discussed it being that many times, so hopefully that pleases you. As long as I'm a Twitch streamer, this will be a game in development, basically, because once this game's over, I'm retired. So you got to hope it lasts as long as possible, haven't you? You used to be the best of friends, but as more woodcutters came into the woods, the rival became more angry about it, while the other tree believed that they must learn to coexist and teach. Oh, so we brought in the whole rival thing, and I like it, guys. It will be really cool to think about this. Could be an elm. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a maple tree. He could be whatever tree he is. I don't even know. But wherever he is, he could be the cousin. You know, he don't have to be the brother. He don't even have to be related. They could just be totally different trees. But they're still enemies and rivals. It looks like an oak. No idea how much. Oak is good, protective and noble tree. Yeah, this is the good guy. We kind of did finalise that he's a good tree. That was what the poll said. So really all you need to know about Lakefall is that we've got this good tree here and that there was a massacre by the reptiles. They did the massacre because this is a human only village. I don't know if you've noticed, but we only have humans here. If we look in the tavern and the shops, it's all humans. So yeah, the reptiles just hate humans. Well, I predict I won't be finished on my pilot for another 3 years, so Raindrop Chronicles production must carry on that long. Well, I'd say Raindrop Chronicles, it would kind of be on average maybe 5 years, maybe less than that, but maybe more. But see, 5 years is a sort of just approximate time at the moment, and that is ultimately why it's episodic, because 5 years is too long to wait for something playable. Having it be episodic just allows people to play something sooner. So it's going to be super fun, guys. Love the rivalry idea. And yeah, good luck with your project as well for Legmog. 3 years. It's a commitment, but you know, if you're passionate about something, it's no problem, is it? It's a fun ongoing thing. Father Maple hates the humans, while Father Oak Elm prefers coexistence with them. This is perfect. This is perfect, guys, because this is the nice tree, and it's very likely, like I'm talking 100% here, that there's going to be a side quest involving this tree, because why wouldn't there be if there's lore? If anything that makes the story's lore expands it is worth doing as a side quest. So it'll be really cool to think about what that side quest is going to be as well. Or for another twist, the good guy is good for now, and yeah, who knows, could all change. I am a very big sucker for redemption arcs, bad guys becoming good guys becoming bad, and just characters completely transforming who they are on their journey. I'm a big sucker for that kind of trope, so I would not say no to that sort of outcome at all. It was the reptiles, my hand. No, I'm doing it out again. And you know, we talked about the reptiles being the antagonists quite a bit, but I would very much love the reptiles to be very misunderstood and sympathetic as a race. Battle Sandwich briefly discussed in the Ideas channel a month or so back that he thinks about the reptiles, how to make them more sympathetic and relatable. He talked about reptiles living with humans, some of the real not that. Some of the lowest of humans, that's right, living with reptiles in some of the villages and towns to kind of make us relate to the reptiles more and actually see them. Because then it's more of we're showing the player, not telling them, and that's a really good approach. So maybe one of the upcoming villages we can actually start bringing in other races, not just humans, and show maybe some reptiles living with, then we can like make friends with some of the reptiles and maybe do quests for some of them even. Make the good guy last boss. My goodness, imagine if he's the actual big bad of the whole game and that he's actually a final boss in Raindrop Chronicles. Hello, welcome to Tour Guide is an Amazing Place. Here's a good tree. How amazing is that? There is also a massacre here too. Please don't forget to buy stuff at the gift shop. A lovely massacred human doll remind you of this trip. Yeah, Layerfall's going to be a fascinating place to develop because the people living here are affected by the massacre. Obviously, all of them somehow are affected, and their personality is a certain way because of the massacre. So it's going to be interesting to think about the NPCs and what they're like as people too. I'm really looking forward to those streams. Probably start them next month, all going well. Maybe as soon as the first boss is done in the Everbloom Forest, we'll be able to move on to developing Lakefall more and the side quests. I'm back from... Couldn't help but notice there's no black massacred human dolls. Well, who knows what could be introduced? You know, Lakefall is what, 10% done in terms of development. We could like really go all the way with the lore. I mean, side quests is what's going to do that, and it'll be lots of fun. I hate it when I go somewhere in real life and I'm affected by massacres, so I can relate to these people. You're going to like them? Well, what if we make everyone in Lakefall an absolute asshole? How about that? The village of assholes. And we'll purposely make the player hate humans in this game, and that's how we're going to get sympathy for the reptiles, because these people are horrible. I mean, Nigel Buckington, who's he? Where are you, Nigel? Nigel Buckington, nobody likes him, do they? This little girl here who we pushed in the lake, she's a pain in the ass too. So, you know, we could totally make them all horrible. Village of assholes. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe there's a dark twist to the massacre. Like, at the moment, you think, poor people, poor village people, they had a massacre, how sad. But really, maybe they totally deserve the massacre. That's really bad to say, but maybe there's something that's happened there's more to the situation than it seems. Oh my goodness. Welcome back, Neffel. Okay, so, but yeah, I would totally be for making these characters bad humans. But we don't know the reason behind the massacre at all at the moment. There's nothing about that. It's still a big question mark why the massacre happened. The reason, other than, as far as we know, reptiles hate humans, and that's why they did it, because reptiles are just horrible and hate humans. But we want to be a lot. We kind of would. It would be awesome to just make it a lot more interesting than just that, because that's very surface level. Maybe there's a dark twist to the massacre. You better include a dark twist because we don't want the player accidentally thinking there was a fun, happy time massacre. Rose was laughing a lot about the massacre. Yeah, I'm evil, God. I'm evil. I found out my secret. I'm a psychopath. Okay, so, Right, where were we? I forgot what we was talking about. Was it Father Maple? But no, it'd basically just be cool if, like, there was a bit of sympathy with the reptiles and the reasoning behind why it happened, rather than just the reptiles being all outright chaotic evil, you know. A bit of villain sympathy would be cool. Right, so, but Elite's characters kind of might be developed that much more, because Elite gave us a brief description of his villain, and it's very interesting. They're being manipulated by some evil human wizard. Exactly. There's more to it. Hello, maybe they killed some reptiles. Hi, Leo. Yeah, I mean, if you want to expand on what you're planning with your character, Elite, you can totally say. But if you want to keep it a little bit mysterious and a secret, that's fine too. So it's interesting. I'm excited, and thank you for the follow, Kia, as well. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. The reptiles once lived in harmony with the humans, and the reptiles came every year with an ice cream van. But one year they ran out of chocolate flakes, and thus began the ice cream massacre. My goodness. Honestly, I like the wackiness. I like a bit of mental humour being thrown in. I'm not going to lie, though, come on. This is why we have a flower making a cute little noise when he has the aromatherapy skill, which is a heal. Where is it? I need to play it again because it's just fabulous. How lovely is that? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll let you know when I read more. LOL, I don't want to establish something that's outside the generally accepted canon already. Well, the fact is, with characters, when you make your character, once you've written that and it's a character sheet, it's kind of already established. It's an established thing once you've got your character sheet there. And that's what we go by. And as for the rest of the plot, like however it turns out, we write it. I mean, if you've like read the FAQ file, it basically explains that I always start it off, and you guys as the community can like enter submissions for how you want it to continue, and whatever one gets the most votes is the one we go with. And that's a way to just keep things in order, I guess, and stop things just getting really out of control, because it gives me a sense of control with the project a bit at least, but at the same time it also allows you guys to contribute, and the best one wins. So the most awesome and interesting and fascinating submission will get the most votes, all going well. And that's how we'll have an awesome story. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I like a bit of mental view. Approve of your ways, Rose Rainblood. Yeah. Well, you know that when there's a Carol the Barrel, a talking barrel in the game, that, you know, this is no ordinary story. They lit the Everbloom Forest on fire to protect themselves from the Sorbet siege, only barely managing to hang on. And I would totally love to do a flashback sequence of the massacre, the night of the massacre, and how it all went about. Like, maybe, I mean, obviously, maybe somebody, an NPC in the Lightfall, can tell the story to the hero, and that it can be like a flashback for sequence of what happened. But we'll see, because all these are just ideas right now. You like the site at the end? It's beautiful, isn't it? So I'm really glad we went with that, because we were unsure yesterday. Some people were like, but other people were like, yeah, let's totally make the flower do a cute little size. And it won the poll, so we ended up going for it. That's the excuse all ice cream van people use when they run out of flakes. What should be asking us is, where did the chocolate flakes go? Well, if you really want this idea, Legmog, make sure you're here when we write the story of the massacre. I don't have an estimate date for when that story will get written yet, but it'll probably be soon, in the next couple of months, I'd say. But I'm trying to like do an organised schedule thing now. So let me get it up. It's on the extension. If you hover over the stream and click the little quest extension, I've got like a week by week plan now. And I'm going to try and stick to that as closely as possible. Sometimes we might have to go off track a bit because some things might take longer, because that's how game dev works sometimes. But hopefully it'll go well. That will be our schedule. So you guys all know then when we will be, the week we will be working on certain things. And if you're interested in submitting to the main story most, and that's what you excited about, then you'll kind of have an idea what week that's going to be. And I think I've kind of said the last week in November is when we're probably going to do the next part of the story, because that will all connect with the first boss. So we'll kind of do those together. MV looks really great though. Hi G Shuford, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? And it's really cool you're doing something too. If you want to tell us about your project, feel free to. We even have a creative work channel in our Discord. So if anybody wants to share their work with us in the creative work channel, feel free to. Yeah. Might do it again. Combat is really getting me stuck. I want it to be fun more than just choosing the obvious best combos. Yeah, combat is my weakness as well. It's been very interesting because that's what we've been working on stream the last few weeks, and I've learned an awful lot. But it's quite fun in its own way. But my comfort zone is more the actual story side of things and world building and mapping and the more visual stuff. Well, when it isn't animations and special effects, I'm not as good as the animation side of things, but it kind of, there's a lot of free resources at least, so that's good. Child's understanding of Ruby sound pretty limited. Oh, I'm the same. I'm trying to figure out a bug at the moment, actually. I've had to send an email to Moghunter. I hope he replies, because I need a bit of assistance. I'm doing good, thank you. I'm using a system of stances which are states that alter your stats, which will synergize which skills you use and work better or worse depending on enemy states. Oh, cool. Well, if you want to share it, totally feel free to. And sometimes simple's good too. And yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. I mean, it can be hard for sure, but it might be a lot more fun than you think. I also had a vent in my own system of perks per level up that would let you customise your character's stats, but I think I'll be ditching it. I don't think it will work well with your system. Ooh, wow. Good luck. I wish you the best of luck, and I'm sure you'll figure something out. Okay, so back to good old Father Maple. Let's get his asset up. I'm going to delete the assets that we're not using because I always take forever to find them because there's so many. But what were we discussing? We decided what protective pancake was going to be. So that was one good thing that we sorted out. We were discussing, how the skill could look visually. So we now know that it's a stacking defensive thing. So how is it all going to work mechanically? That's the question. So stacking defense buffs. How often will it stack? When it uses protective pancake, does it start just off as one, and then after every turn there's a new stack? Or I suppose it's considering now how we're gonna make this mechanic work effectively. And thank you, Elite, for helping out for sure. Elite is a very helpful person. Favourite thing though is the game based on hiring guild adventurers to do adventuring and have a beast of an event that randomises their backgrounds and names. Oh, awesome. That sounds really fun. And thank you for the follow. How about players have to input command entries for attacks to do full damage if it's sensitive? Oh, you're talking to Shufed. Okay, so did you ever play Final Fantasy X, like Oren's Overdrive for those? Oh yeah, Oren. He was a real badass in that game. Yeah, best of luck and let us know how it goes if you get the chance to. I'm hungry. What is the time? Oh, we've still got an hour of stream left, so lots of time. Yeah, I might have to get myself some almond milk or something to fill me up because I'm a hungry one. Okay, so protective pancake. How did we say the stacking thingy works, the mechanics? Because I don't need the plugin, right? This can be done in a game. But it's fine. I mean, if it's simple enough, I can get a guide up or a tutorial. We don't have to do this skill now. But if anybody's got anything in mind about how the stacking will work effectively, then definitely feel free to say. Otherwise, I'll just do it however. Anyway, what have we got going on with Rose's game? Wow, I'll give you the command. So if you want to read more, feel free to have a little look at that. We do have a website on the way that will hopefully be launched either at the end of this year or the very start of the new year. It'll be really exciting to have that. Right now we're working on enemy skills for a big boss in the Everbloom Forest, Father Maple. That's right. We've been working on because we have 7 different enemies in this dungeon. This is our very first dungeon. So it's been something very new to learn. So we've just recently finished implementing the skills for all these enemies. We've got the boss is coming up. We haven't done the boss yet. We've only done the 7 enemies, and they're all on map encounters in the forest. They're like wander around little black silhouettes, and if you run into them, it triggers the battle. And I've just lined them all up here for testing purposes, and we kind of just adding the animations and some really cool sound effects that match up with the skills and the enemy type. That's kind of what we've been working on this week. So we've been messing about in the animation setting, and we're about halfway through-ish with the animations and sounds for all the skills. And we've been discussing this little big boy here and one of his skills, which is called Protective Pancake. It's a very, very silly appropriate name because he's a maple tree. Stacking buffs in VXA buffs by 25% and has a default of max of 2 stats, but you can edit the code. If you bring up its effect section, tooltip should tell you how stacking works. Okay, I'll have a look into it because I thought I would need a plugin for the stacking, but Elite tells me that I can actually do it without the plugin. So I'll look into it. I'm a bit of a noob with it so far because I've never... It'll be the first time I've done a stacking skill, but I might just leave the mechanics of that skill today for the stream because we've only got under an hour left now of the stream. We'll probably focus more on thinking of some cool sound effects and animations for the skills. So something floppy for the pancake stacks could be a good noise for a sound effect for this skill, like when we have a stack, like a flop of a pancake being stacked on another, maybe could be a good sound effect. And I suppose the hardest bit is visualizing the pancake, but because I want to make it simple but at the same time make it creative and look like a pancake. Thank you for the follow, Ree. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. You're lurking to feed the kitties. Oh, say hi to the kitties from me. Also, can I see your map some more? It looked like really good map design. Oh, thank you. We've got 6 maps. So this is the first one. Let's zoom out. This is the second one. I've done parallax mapping for it because that was the only way to get the flowers looking the way I wanted them to. Because this is like it's a flowery forest, very flowery. It's called the Everbloom Forest. So yeah, this is where the first quest takes place, the destination for it. And we recently finished a cutscene there. And we have a little cave, so that is a potential another dungeon we can do. And then this is the exit here, which we haven't done yet. We don't know what leads on from this point, but in the future we'll probably have a little chat about what could be the next zone, which will be fun. But we want to work on Everbloom Forest. There's a lot of work here to do still. I mean, mapping wise, we're done. And this is the last map. The boss will be hanging out here. And we still don't know who the boss is yet. We're going to have a poll on that in a special stream, probably towards the end of the month. But yeah, mapping wise, we're done. Enemies are almost done. We just need to finish their skills, their animations and stuff. And so really it's just the boss, thinking of items and the rewards and all that sort of stuff. And then it'll be back to the village, Lakefall, and we'll be doing some side quest stuff here and NPC world building and that, just to flesh the place out more a bit. And then we'll move on to the next zone once we've really done a lot of content in this area. This game looks really interesting. Hi, Renax. Welcome. How are you doing today? And thank you for that follow as well. I appreciate the kind words. It has been a lot of fun. I'm glad to have you guys join us today. Normally using that many flares would be an overuse of flares, but it looks really nice. That was the first thing I noticed, was how good it actually looks with all the flowers. Makes it look magical and vibrant, yeah. And it's really added a lot. I mean, I know there's a lot of flowers there, but that's kind of the point. There's going to be a bit of lore behind all that, and we haven't really expanded on the lore much yet, because the focus has been getting the mapping done, getting the enemies, skills and all that stuff done first, and all the story related stuff will come after once we've got that done and out the way, and that'll be really fun. Get 500 raindrops from hanging out and streaming. You can make a character in the game. Yeah, that's very true. We've got 15 characters so far, and that's who these guys are here. If you're in the stream, your little character will be walking at the bottom. So yeah, it's a little bit of a grind for the raindrops, but by the time you get those 500 raindrops, you're usually quite well known in the channel and the community. If you're not familiar with GIMP, I highly recommend it. It's basically a free Photoshop. I use it for minor edits, not an artist. Yeah, I'm a Photoshop girl. I did download GIMP once, but I couldn't get used to it. I think that's because I've used Photoshop for so long now that it's hard to use another software. But I also use Graphicscale as well for certain things. That's a pixel art software. GIMP is pretty good personally. Hi Geeky, how you doing? You like my accent? Thank you very much. But thank you, G Shuford. Yeah, that's very true. If anybody here wants to use a free art program, I would recommend GIMP too. Even though I don't use it, it's only because I already own Photoshop and I'm used to it. But for the free solution, GIMP is probably the best one. How you doing, Geeky Girl? I hope you're having a good day. Like adding more flower tiles, changing the petal colours, copy paste flower tiles to make more varied flower groups. Yeah, it's the parallax mapping is very time consuming. It took me a while to do that, but once it's done, and the result is awesome. So it was totally worth it. We have a little sunbeam as well, in the forest, with a little special effect. We're using a plugin for that. I forgot what it's called. Should say here. I think it's filter controller. It's a pixie filter controller. It just adds a lot just to have that. And There's been talk of potentially having a day and night system in the game, but we haven't implemented it yet. But we may do. I think in the very near future we may have a discussion about that possibility. And that would be pretty interesting to see how this forest would look like at night time. You've been doing good, I'm glad to hear it. What have you been playing lately, Geeky Goat? BRB, I think the doggo's one in. Oh my goodness, you've got doggos? Oh my goodness me, guys, new peoples. If you have pets, we do have an adorable pets channel on the Discord as well, so totally feel free to share your cute animals. I always encourage that. Okay, so, yep. And also, just so you know, because you might, if you're curious what we have done in older streams, I do have all the old streams of Raindrop Chronicles from the very first one on YouTube. And if you're curious how I went about the mapping and all the other stuff we've done up till this point, then that's the place to go. I do have them on Twitch as well, though, the videos, but I think YouTube's just, I prefer watching videos on YouTube. I think a lot of peeps do. You must post pets, yay. I can smell food. It's making me a hungry one. I'm going to have to get a snack in a sec. We'll have a quick BRB in a bit because I need a snack. And thank you for joining the Discord, Kia and Shu. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to say thank you because I always like thanking. I mean, not thank you. Welcome. There we go. Oh my gosh, the food I can smell is absolutely delicious. I want it in my mouth, please. Thank you for the bitties. Oh my god, are they doggo corgi bitties? Oh my goodness me, that's so cute. That's the first time I've ever seen those bitties. Thank you so much, Geeky Goat, for those bitties. I appreciate you. Oh, Ria's joined as well. I better say hi too. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to give him a little tour of the Discord just so you know where stuff is. We got real life stuff here, so if you've got any pets, pop them in here. We've got some real cuties here if you want to scroll back. We got the creative work channel here, so if you've got any art you want to share, any video games or projects, just pop them in here and the community will have a little peek. Photos, selfies, and then we just have Raindrop Chronicles stuff as well. General discussion for things and a general chat, announcements and all the stuffs. So it's the place to be if you just want to keep active in the community, really, and get to know peeps. Hype, yay, thank you for the hype. Well, I moved in with a friend who has 2 dogs. One has practically become mine, but I have 2 ferrets and a cat. That's so cute. I'm going to be having 2 cats moving in with me this weekend, just temporarily, because my sister's moving back home and her cat. So until she moves out, we'll be having the cats. So it'll be interesting. I'm going to have to keep my door shut at all times because otherwise they might ruin my equipment. Hi Storm Eagle, how's it going? It's good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. Been rambling on a little bit, but we have discussed a few new mechanics. Been having a chat about Father Maple today. We had a poll for Protective Pancake, what it was going to do as a skill, and Elite's suggestion ended up winning. We decided it's going to be a stacker of defense buffs. That's going to be what it does. And we felt like that is perfect. It's a pancake stack. So it's very fitting to have it be a stacking ability. So we kind of was thinking about sound effects and how we could make Protective Pancake look visually. And an idea for sound is like a pancake flopping down on another one, like a stacking pancake sound. Or even if we can't get an actual pancake, we could get something that sounds similar maybe, but that's the hard bit will be actually visualizing it. So I'm imagining a sort of barrier in front of the tree that looks like a pancake, and then like other ones being in front of it. And then for the very final stack, there'll be a little lump of butter maybe. Or something like that. But it's going to be, I don't want to overcomplicate things because I'm not really a designer of animation or anything like that. I can have a dabble in it and an edit of it, but I'm no professional and I don't want to make it look amateur or anything like that. So it'd be awesome to be minimal, but still at the same time make it obviously look like a pancake. So that's the aim. And if you've got any ideas, chat, for how this skill could look and sound, now is the time to say, because this will be the last stream for animations and sounds for a while. I might briefly show you first thing on Monday what I'd done over the weekend, but we will be moving on to player skills next week. I want to start focusing on the skill tree and for a bit, because we don't want to neglect that. We want to get those sorted as well. And we're very, very close to finishing the enemies. The skills are implemented now. It's all about just finalising them and making them more professional and realistic with their animations and sounds. And that's kind of really what we've been working on the last few streams. Hope stream is not ending in 5 minutes now. I usually end around 6 p.m, sometimes a little bit before. Which is another over half an hour away yet. It's actually going awesomely, yay. Hi Lev, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I stand in a field of roses as a rainbow shy over me with drops of blood falling on top of me. What a lovely little poem. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Finally went out to the city with one of my classmates, and me and her talked like 4 hours next to a pond. Oh, that's so sweet. Are you guys dating? That's really nice. It's lovely to meet people that you've got a connection with like that. Yes, it feels good to interact with others and feel accepted and loved and do stuff with those individuals. That makes us feel like that, makes you feel alive. Yeah, for sure. How are you doing, Lev, though? Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Didn't only invite to watch Joke without drama student council group in one of those classes. Ooh. Wow. I hope it goes well, Stormy and Gone. I'm glad that you're doing well and you're happy. That makes us happy too. Okay, so protected pancake. I've said that. So obviously, if you do want to give any input for the skill, not even visually or sound wise, even if you have an idea for the stacking mechanic in particular, then feel free to say. But other than that, we do have some other skills to think about too. What else did we discuss? Oh yeah, the AoE attack of Father Maple as well. It's currently called Bramble Roots, but I'm thinking of giving it a different name and making it a different kind of Earth AoE rather than a root-based one, because I'm really struggling to find an animation that fits for this. But we do have some other Earth animations. It would be nice to have one that's appropriate for a tree, of course. We don't want just any old Earth animation. But he's very big. He could earthquake. He's a bad tree. We've kind of talked about his personality a bit. Stumpy's the little cute, maybe annoying guy who we end up getting to know, and he becomes very precious to us. He's a very precious character, whereas his daddy, Father Maple, is just really, well, he's a meanie poo, isn't he? Big old meanie poo. And in Lightfall we actually do have another tray, and we talked about how he's the rival of Father Maple, this guy, because this is the good one. This guy's good. So, plus an awesome thing that the stream hasn't ended yet. Yay! I don't usually end this early, so no worries, it's not going to end yet. The only reason I'd end at this time is if, like, you know, I wasn't feeling well or something. But mostly I do like to at least stream for 3 hours, just over 3 hours. So I'm going to go on a BRB though, because I'm very hungry and I need some foods or a snack. So I'll be back in a few minutes. And I'll put some background music on when I've got the BRB on, I think. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello, I am back. Hi. Okay, so my tummy's a bit more full now, kind of. Milk. Well, it's not normal milk. It's not cow's milk. It's the almond milk's run out there. This one's soya, so it's better for my stomach. I've not been reacting well to normal milk. I think I'm lactose intolerant. I've got to do a test to say. But hi, Kaz Rex. How are you doing? Peanut milk. Hope you're doing well. How's your morning been so far? Okay, so where were we, chat? Oh yeah, we're thinking of another. Well, we can talk about protective pancake more for sure. That's totally fine to do, but we have about 15 other skills to talk about too. So we're just thinking of what one to work on. I mean, some of them are finalised. We've basically done all toxic plant. Mushroom is mostly done apart from fungal fury. We need. I want to variate. I want to make it a bit more varied to mushroom mash because it's too similar. Petal slice and aromatherapy are done, but yeah, where all these gaps are the ones we've still got to do. And Stumpy's still aren't finalised yet either. Oh my gosh, I want to do a big burp. It's been good. It's been good, I'm glad. Super glad to hear it. So, Careless Rex, are you here at the moment? Because if you are, I want to show you the flower animation. And I want to show you because you were the one that kind of finalised the idea to have the cute little sigh. I'm going to turn off the music though because we're going to play around with sounds again. We need no music on really. Okay, so aromatherapy, that was it. So let's get the cute white flower here so we can actually have the right enemy there to match with the sound. Okay, so here we are. There we go. He's like, ah. What a sweetheart. But I'm still, that sounds perfect. The only thing I'm not sure about with it is the healing noise. Because Kung mentioned that it sounds radioactive, and that I don't know whether that links to aromatherapy. So, but that'll be simple enough. If we have to change the healing noise, we can either go online and find a better one or use one of these. But everything else will sound the same. We'll still have the sigh at the end. I'm not really a fan of the default ones. Wow. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the default ones. That's a bit shocking. Hi H, how are you doing? It's been forever. How are you? I hope you're well. Thanks for popping in. How is your kiddo doing? Oh, I'm glad he's getting back, Hung. That sounds perfect. Yay. Milk and cereal and then only put the bowl. I don't put much milk on my cereal because, well, I can't because it's bad for my tummy. And to be honest, I'm not really a fan of soggy cereal anyway. I don't like soggy. I'm weird. Cereal plus ketchup, now that's interesting. So yeah, we're using that sound at the moment, but I might find another healing sound that's a little bit more aromatherapy sounding and it'll match well with the sigh. So, yes, and really, pollen puke's the missing third one here. For pollen puke, I imagine something similar to abominable spit, but obviously a cuter noise puking, because this is a horrible not puking noise, this one is. That's the toxic plant's voice. But the flower has this cute, I suppose he's got a similar voice to Stumpy, but different. I think that's why we're using Storm Eagle. We'll probably use Storm Eagle's sigh for Stumpy, if Stumpy sighs, because Storm's our Stumpy voice actor. But yeah, so a puking cute noise will be hard to pull off. That's why we've left that one for now. But I can play around with the pitch. I can find some vomiting noises online and make the pitch higher and see if it sounds cute. Probably not, but we'll see. And the B, we haven't done any of the B or D as yet, but they won't be too bad. It's just straightforward with the B. It's literally just needle sting, swarm and a drone. So that's going to be an insect sting sound plus some buzzing bee noises probably for the swarm and drone skills. And the deer one's a bit more tricky because I cannot figure out for the life of me what a deer would sound like if it charged into a human and what kind of sound effect that would make. So I went as far as going on YouTube and looking at deer videos where they were bashing into people, but the deers were being demonised. People were saying that they were vicious animals and should be put down, and I was like, I'm not having this. Leave my deers alone. Save me from this propaganda. Deers are beautiful creatures. And disease bite was really interesting as well, because that's one of our other deer skills. And I did find a bite asset for that. But the teeth were too sharp. And then I realised that deers actually have human teeth. So I'm going to have to find another asset for that. And then retribution's a very interesting one. I'm actually pretty stumped with what to have as a sound effect for that and an animation. Because it literally is, it's a counterattack where the deer, if it's got red eyes, you don't hit it, otherwise it counterattacks. So in a way, there's already a visual indicator there with the red eyes anyway. But it might make it just a bit more interesting if we had a sound effect and animation with it. And I need to figure out, there's a little bug with that skill as well. And I hope I can figure it out. Please cross your fingers for me. I'm still hungry. I can hear scary noises. Don't like it. Okay, so then there's Stumpy. Okay, so Runaway is fine. That one's basically sorted. Spook is nearly there, but it's still a bit messy with the animation. It's quite tricky because it involves sneezing. If we get Stump here, we can see what it looks like now. So I don't like the animation that's currently there. It was the closest thing I could find to a sneeze because it looks like little particles that fade. And maybe it's the colours that aren't appropriate. Maybe that the whole multicolouredness of it. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the noises. Okay, so maybe the multicolouredness of it is the problem. I'm one of these people that I can't work well in noise. I have a real pet peeve against noise. I like silence, I do. And there's a lot of banging and noise going on at the moment. Just makes me on edge. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure about that yet. I might change the colour to grayscale and it might look a bit better. But I'm still not sure. I might have a mess about that. Sticky Fingers is a weird one. because I wanted to go all out with that animation. I wanted to make it really awesome and like literally have a laser beam of maple like shoot out Stumpy's finger and hit the player. Like that was what I visioned, but I'm not finding anything that looks like a laser beam but liquid. And I suppose having water, like a water, but change the colour to golden would work. But I found like there's some like assets here, like, but it's too short. So here it is, like this, something like this, like a golden water beam. But I want it to be long. I don't know how to do that because we're limited, like the animations are only square in size. Unless there's a creative way to do this that I haven't thought of. I don't even know if it's possible to shoot directly at the player, because from when I've done play testing, no matter how long it is, it'll always like be cut off at a certain point, and like it won't even touch the player. So I don't even know if it's a possibility. Hi Juice, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Stacked two, yeah, I thought about doing that. I thought, what if I did this and like, because rotating them's easy, like you literally just do this, you just rotate it, and I could do something like that, but the problem is it'll be cut off, like, 'cause this is the furthest I can get it. I can't move it anymore. So even if, like, say I built like a water thing and it linked to Stumpy's finger, when I do a play test, there'll be like just a random cut off, and I want it to reach the player. I want it to like go across and touch the player. And like I said, I've got to do some research to even find out if that can be done. Because if it could be done, then it could make some skill animations a lot more creative in the future as well. It doesn't even have to just be this one. It could be, we could do awesome things with other animations too. So yeah, that's a really kind of tricky one. So Spoop and Sticky Fingers need working on. Waddle, however you want to say it, is Stumpy just walking up to the player and giving him a whack. That's what that is. And because it's called waddle, that means that's a word for walk. It just means clumsy walk. So I was working on that action, and what I did to pull that off was I did this in the notes file, because this is where you do action sequences. You have to do them in the skill notes. And it literally, I just move Stumpy to certain coordinates and have 3 frames in between them. And it makes him do this little walk, like, so he doesn't just slide across the screen, he actually does a little walk. And I think I'm quite close to doing it now. It's not perfect, but it's nearly there. That was the only way I could think of to pull that off, because I didn't like the slide for Stumpy. It didn't suit him. Stumpy suits being clumsy and cute, because by default they just literally slide towards the player and attack them. So this just makes it a bit more interesting. Pardon me. I have to say, it does make me want to burp all the time. I've only ever burped on stream loudly once, and it just came out my mouth without me expecting it to. It just came out. And I think somebody clips it because I found it that funny. It's there. It's somewhere in the clips. It was a while ago. Oh my goodness, Cheese. You are getting those raindrops. Elite is going to get his character done soon, and I'm excited for it because it's going to open up a lot of story ideas for Raindrop Chronicles. Elite's character is, and what he's told me so far, and it's really intriguing. And it involves your character, Careless Rex. Can you believe that? Elite is going to kill that blue cat in his story, trust me, oh my goodness. Elite is going to be an antagonist, that's one thing we know. Who is going to kill? We're not sure. But one thing we have said is that characters can't get killed off until the final. Either the penultimate chapter or the final chapter will be when I allow killings off. Because I don't want to allow main characters getting killed early game, because character arcs won't be complete. And obviously, especially if they're an important little NPCs can die, I don't care about them. Kill anyone in Lakefall that you want, you know. Nigel Bookington, where are you? You can die, honestly, don't give a damn. But as for, you know, the ones that actually have character sheets, they're not allowed to die until the final chapters. Like, so that means, yes, your character can potentially die in Raindrop Chronicles. My character might die, Rose might die in the last chapter for all we know. But we'll have to say. Blue cat, you mean Azrael? Yes. Well, he's the infamous cat tormentor. Well, Azrael's character's a very complicated character too. He's no blue kitty, cute kitty, that's for sure. He's a fearsome warrior. Me, Rex says we will question mark. Yes. Elite's got an antagonist that he's got planned, and it does involve the reptile race and the human race, and you're of the reptile race, so yes, this involves you. I've said Elite can expand on it if he wants, but he might want to not reveal it yet, so I'll leave it up to Elite what he says. I need more. It's finished and I'm starving. Okay, so Uncle Respect, thank you for the follow. It's going to be so funny saying Uncle. If Uncle becomes somebody who chats in this stream, I'd be calling him Uncle. That's quite funny. Welcome. As I try to save all flora and fauna, you'll have to go through me. We'll give more detail over the weekend. About to start stream. Hi Pooh. Yeah, we're all excited. Gonna be fun times. Okay. So I'm trying to think of what, because we've only got a short period of time left on the stream now, so I'm trying to think if there's any of the skills we could focus on before we end today. Especially because this is the last animation stream we'll be doing for a bit. I feel like we've worked on it a lot, and it'll be cool to move on to something different. So I'm going to get all these finalised off stream now. So now is your final chance, chat, to, if you've got any idea, any of these skills that we've got here that we've been doing, if you want to have any input at all, it'll be really kind of the last chance now. And although I'll probably do a test play to show you what I've done and stuff at some point next week, well, we will be anyway, because we'll be working on the player skills, and at one of the jobs will be implementing those skills and testing against the monsters to see how they are. So you'll see the animations anyway when we do that. But I kind of really want to get them done and dusted so we can 100% focus on the player stuff next week, because that's a big job in itself. And just to remind you all, if you're unsure about the player stuff, have we got Draw.io? You may or may not have seen our skill trees that we've been working on. So let me get those up. So Warrior, Hunter and Vampire, very strictly only focusing on those for now, until we have a new class in the game, but we only have those so far. So the job will be to do the first 4 of those skills, for each of those classes. That's 12 altogether, for 12 skills for warrior, hunter and vampire. And the reason why we're limiting it to 4 skills is because that'll probably take us to the end of the Everbloom Forest dungeon. I can't see us doing more than 2 levels of the skill tree in this one dungeon. I'll probably fix the class points that you gain to reach a certain point. So unless people grind like a mad person, then you probably won't get past level 2, which is this. But the little diamonds will be stat boosts, so they'll be easy enough to implement, I suppose. And there'll be a mixture of stat boosts and skills on our skill tree. Edginess Dark, prepare for that. Yes, and we're going to be like Dark Tower. We're going to be dark but bonkers. Because this book, if you look at this book, you'd be like, that is a serious book, yeah. It's got the word dark in the name, that says it all, but it isn't. It is, but it's got a talking train in it, so it's clearly a bit bonkers as well, just like Raindrop Chronicles. We've Carol the Barrel. 60 left. I'm intrigued what direction Storm's going to go, but we've always said, like, we're going to get a real different range of characters and personalities in this story. It's going to be a kitchen sink for sure. I read books not often, but Dark Tower and Dante's Inferno has piqued my interest. I've got them here because I'm going to reread them all. I've only got these 4. I need to buy the last 3 on eBay probably, because that's the only place I'm going to get these old editions, and I want them all to match. So yeah, I just felt like rereading the whole series. I think it was 2009 or 2008 when I read those books, and I want to read them again because it's such a good series. Hi Kermit, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we'll be going back to the play skills stuff next week, and so really we'll be working from here. Let's get the skills database up. I've already planned that we'll be working from the bottom, so we'll be building the skills here. Intro. What's intro? Intro is literally the battle intro. We have like a little animation where all the characters all do a special move at the start of the battle, just for some so it's not boring, basically. Yeah, I currently have it set so the first character, Jesus, does a swing, Rose does the guard animation, but we can change those easily. It's super cool. And so warrior skills, vampire skills, and I'm not sure how to organise it because I don't know where we'd start the vampire and the hunter skills, whether we should leave some gaps, because I wouldn't know how many gaps to leave, or whether we should just do them in sections of 4, like do the first 4. It's going to be difficult because I like to keep things organised, but we'll think about it. So we'll just, all those ideas that we had on our little Draw.io doc, we'll implement those, and we obviously have to decide which 4 we're going to go for. We've only decided for the warrior, and then once we've done that, we'll make sure that they work. We'll give them some snazzy animations and sound effects, and we'll make sure the skill tree looks good in the menu and they're unlockable and everything works, and then we can balance the battles and things. That will be fun as well to do, making sure all the battles are not too hard or not too easy. And then it'll be first boss time. We do have like a plan for the rest of the month. It's on the extension. So if you want to see, if you just want to have a look, all you have to do is hover over the stream and click the extension and you'll see. So I've got a plan now for the rest of the month, what we'll be working on. So keeps things organised. Also makes me be a bit more on track as well. So chat, are we gonna end stream and say hello to somebody? Is that what we're gonna do now? We're gonna do a Rose Raid Blood? I think we should. So between now and next stream on Monday, as you know, I have tomorrow and the weekend off. I'll be just finishing off those what we've been working on, getting the sounds and animations done, and we'll do a quick test play first thing on Monday for all those battles maybe, and then we'll start implementing the player skills, and it'll be a really good job done. So let's get Twitch up. Twitch. Welcome, Uncle Respect, to our Discord. It's good to have you join us. Glad to have you with us. Okay, everybody, so off I go. Last stream of the week. You won't see me now for a few days, so if you want to make sure you're in the Discord, if you don't want to lose that contact, if you want to keep up to date with what's happening in Raindrop Chronicles and stuff, then that's the place to be. Or you can follow me on Twitter. Yay, thank you, Rex, for joining in with the raid. I appreciate that. Copy and paste Rex's message, guys, if you want to join in with the raid. It'll be super awesome if you do. You can put your own email out there if you don't have mine. That's totally fine. So let's say hi to Finchfish. Just because she's a good friend. She's a good old friend at the stream. She's been here a long time. She's also a character in the game. She's a herbalist playable character, and she's a lovely person, and she's doing some art on stream, and I think you guys will find it a nice chill place to hang out. So I will see you guys on Monday. Take care and have the best weekend ever. All the best, everyone.